Gav Perlman, good afternoon. Are we clear or we're not so clear? Clear. Thank you, Gabriel Gradko. Gav Perlman, you could hear? Perfect. We're coming together, Rabbi say. I've just come straight from a Levaya, and we're coming together straight. Danny's Levaya, Danny Vaiselberg's Levaya ended a few minutes ago. Now, truth be told, easily, maybe easily is a guzma, but truth be told that we can get together and we all have different rooms inside of us. And I could leave that room of pain, that room that houses that levaya and the pain of Danny's patira, and I can enter in a different room. We're all very, very broad and have different rooms inside of us. I can look at Mayor Davidson's face and get a chizuk and enter in a different room and speak to you by Yokam Avram Meyal Pnei Mesai. And I can come and we could meet in a different room. It's not that I can't go to a different room. I don't think I should go to a different room. I want to come to you from that room, my friends. I want to stay in that room with you. On Yom Kippur by Mincha, in the Mamish, as Yom Kippur is intensifying, so we read the Haftarah of Jonah the Navi. And Jonah is running away from his mission. He doesn't want to give Musar to Nineveh, and he's running away from his mission. He's running away from God. And he's on a ship with a bunch of Oivdei Avodah Zarah, a bunch of idol worshippers. Jonah's on a ship. And a great storm comes and it threatens to drown the ship. And they're all wondering, they make lotteries to figure out whose fault is this sar? Which one of the Oivdei Avodah Zarah, which one of these evildoers is the cause of the storm, of the great sar? The great storm, whose fault is the storm? And they draw lots and they're trying to figure it out. And Jonah tells them, Vayomer Aleim, Jonah says to all these sailors, these Oivdei Avodah Zarah, Yodeyani, I know ki b'shali asar hagadol hazeh. This great storm is because of me, b'shali asar hagadol hazeh aleichem. It's easy to point fingers. It's easy, and there are many fingers to point. He's surrounded by Oivdei Avodah Zarah. But Jonah knows, Jonah the Navi knows the emes of a Yid. Ki yodeyani ki b'shali asar hagadol hazeh aleichem. I know the sar is my fault, b'shali. The message is to me. It's not to you, Oivdei Avodah Zarah. Ki b'shali asar hagadol hazeh. On Yom Kippur, at the heart of Yom Kippur, a Yid knows, b'shali asar hagadol hazeh, there's a sar. My friends, there's a storm, there's a sar, a great storm in the world. And a Yid doesn't point fingers, he doesn't say it's others. A Yid is taught at the heart of Yom Kippur how to live his life when he's so open, when his lave is a lave busser at this point of Yom Kippur, late in the day, when he's barely a physical person anymore. He's barely physical, he's Davin Musaf. He's heard the avoid of the Kohen Gadol. He's heard the voice of the Kohen Gadol come out, Petusha V'tar, and he's bowed in front of Hashem. He hasn't eaten. He's detached from the physical. At that point, the Yid who has a lave basar is taught. He's taught in his life when events happen to take responsibility, to understand that we're shaykh to take responsibility. What Jonah knew, b'shali asar hagadol hazeh, What your Yid always does is, how can I improve? What can I do? This Sarah, Rabbi said, this great storm took a delicate, sensitive person. Danny Vaiselberg was a sensitive person, a sensitive soul. He was in tremendous pain. And I didn't give him enough kavod. He wasn't respected enough to free that soul. Kavod is what frees a person, respect. David HaMelech cut the garment of Shaul, and because he cut the garment, he cut Shaul's garment, and he had good reasons to cut Shaul's garment. But because David HaMelech didn't respect the Begadim, he didn't respect clothing, he cut Shaul's garment. For heaven's sakes, David HaMelech was nervous for his life. He was hiding in a cave, worried that Shaul would kill him, and he wanted to show that Shaul was looking around the cave for David HaMelech, and David was in a good hiding spot. And he cut the back of Shaul's garment so that when they were at a safe distance, he called out to Shaul. He said, I am not a Merid b'Malchus, I'm not rebellious. Look, if I wanted, I could have killed you. So he cut his garment. So Shaul, if you don't believe me, I was in position to kill you. Look at your garment, you'll see it cut. He had every reason to cut the garment, but it's a fact. At David HaMelech's end of his life, clothing would not warm David HaMelech. He had reason to cut the garment, and maybe it was going to try to save his life. But it's a fact. If you disrespect things, they don't have their strength. The strength of clothing to warm is robbed from the clothing. Since David HaMelech didn't respect the Godim, they lose their natural power. Clothing have a power to warm, the power to give warmth to all that clothing covered. But if you don't respect clothing, it takes away its power. Mitzvahs have power to uplift the Yid. A mitzvah uplifts a Yid, but Shlomo HaMelech tells us one condition. Yeirah mitzvah yeshulam. You have to show reverence to a mitzvah. If you respect the mitzvah, it unleashes its kayach. Danny was molei kaychas, sweet, sensitive, the type wouldn't harm a fly, wanted people's goodness, didn't want to hurt, one of the most sensitive souls I've encountered. But this sensitive soul was locked with tsar, and it needed honor. Danny needed kavod, love, warmth, respect to unleash the kaychas. Respect of garments gives them their ability to warm. Respect of mitzvahs gives mitzvahs the ability to uplift us, to elevate us. Respect of a human being unleashes the kaychas, the massive godly powers that are inherent in every human being. But respect, tremendous appreciation of, unleashes those kaychas. I promise you, Rabbi say, I promise Danny Vaiselberg, Daniel Yeshua Ben Achman, I promise you, there will be many people, I promise you, I swear to you, there will be many, many people that will have their powers unleashed because of Danny Vaiselberg. I promise you. And I promise him, more important, I promise you and swear to him. There will be many people who will be more respected, more appreciated, and more loved to unleash their kaychas, to bring out the power that's so much in a person. Danny will get the credit and the schar. And I ask you, Rabbi, I join in a revolution, this sensitive soul, this beautiful neshama. Let us all not point fingers, but say, let us take responsibility. This storm, this horrible storm, I take responsibility. And let us resolve in greater strength to be mechabed the next person, to find deeper powers, to respect, to appreciate, to love the next person stronger, better, more authentically, at more of a cost to ourselves. Come out of ourselves and respect the next person. must be the rallying cry for Daniel Yeshua ben Nachman, for this precious, gentle soul. Respect the next person. Love him. Don't judge him. Don't put down the next person. Don't fall for the tough veneer, the tough external. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled by what you see. See better. See deeper. See more. See beauty. Unleash kaiches by respecting, by appreciating, by seeing deeper, by valuing, by understanding. Unleash kaiches. B'shali asar agod lazeh. It's my commitment. I ask you to join in a rallying cry of respect, Rabbi say, of greater respect. Don't let rest on your laurels. Sure, we're good at this. We're fair at this. Get better. Get more. Stop being so comfortable that we're good at this. Better. More. Greater levels. Yaina also could have said, I serve Hashem. He was much bigger than everybody else in that ship. Much bigger. And he could have said, Beseder, his Avera was dak min adak. It was full of l'shem shamayim, his Avera. But he said, B'shali asar agadol hazeh. He said, I have to strengthen. I have to be more exact with Ratzon Hashem. Throw me overboard. I take responsibility. And I say to us, Rabbi, let us all be mechazik. Let us all strengthen ourselves in the merit of this sensitive, delicious, uplifted, elevated soul. Let Danny get tremendous schar in Olam Haba. We will do for him. Let men resolve that there's somebody in your life who's going to be unleashed. Unleash a person with respect, with love, with appreciation. Unleash a person in your life. And do it for Danny. Do it for Danny, Rabbi say. Unleash somebody in your life. It has to be a quiet campaign, for he was quiet. It has to be subtle. It can't be billboards and posters and stamps. Do it for Danny, but you're not allowed to write it anywhere. He was way too sophisticated and subtle and sensitive. This revolution goes from my heart to your heart. I ask, join me, please, Rabbi say. Unleash somebody's kaiches with a revolution of respect. Your sister, your brother, your cousin, your uncle. Unleash somebody's kaiches with love, with appreciation of. And it should be all that, should be an Eloi for Daniel Yeshua ben Nachman's gentle and precious soul. And it will elevate him. He will receive that gift. Yes, I didn't call him enough. Yes, I was not in touch with Danny enough. But I will give him gifts. He is there in Olam Haba, and he will get gifts in Olam Haba. I will call to him there with gifts that he'll appreciate. He was gentle. He didn't want to see anybody suffer, this gentle soul who loved his siblings. The way Yoni and him related was something nobody will forget in Yeshiva. The enduring memory I have is two brothers, tremendous love. I will ask Yoni to come and speak to us. I will tell him there's a campaign that I beg everybody, it can't be written down anywhere. I want it deeper and more. It can't be written anywhere. A Do It for Danny campaign. Or be mechabed somebody. So I don't want anybody settling with just the slogan and a wristband or anything. It's not going to be written anywhere. There will be a campaign, a sensitive campaign. Unleash your spouse's koiches. Unleash your daughter, your son, your brother, your sister, your mother-in-law by appreciating somebody, by valuing. Because when we're mechabed begadim, it allows the begadim that can warm so well to warm. When we're mechabed a mitzvah that can uplift people, it gives it the power to uplift. When we're mechabed a yid, the massive koiches endowed in every yid is unleashed. This will be our way. Danny was a powerhouse. Massive koiches were in there, massive. It can't be that it's going in the ground. It can't be. It's impossible. There was massive koiches, and we're going to unleash them. There will be many people walking around. Many, I promise you. There will be many people walking around who are stronger, better, and able to unleash their inner self. That self that's so there, that power, because they're respected. That is the force that unleashes the kaiches in every single person. And I ask you, Rabbi Isai, my chaveir, my friends, I ask you, coming from this Levaya to this Chabura, I ask you, I beg you all, join in this campaign of respecting people, of appreciating the next person. 20 years ago, Rabbi Isai, Kaufman Shlita started a yeshiva, and Kaufman started a yeshiva, Rabbi Isai, that was built on the premise of the value of every Yid, appreciating a Yid and celebrating. I asked the Rosh Yeshiva already a while ago, was scheduled to come on. It was supposed to start at 2:05. We were delayed a little bit, Rabbi. So I'm going to ask before we hear from the Rosh Yeshiva. I'm going to ask, and I feel badly. These tzaddikim are not they don't owe me to do anything. I'm going to ask their Rishus if Chaim and Shlomo can sing Al Zeh Dove Libenu Al Eila. These people, Chashchu Einenu, were crying for Danny, but with resolve. I'm going to ask Chaim and Shlomo, if they can sing to us, please, Chaim and Shlomo.
I was going to speak about tefillah, but I think let me talk about Donnie first. If we have time, we'll go to the tefillah. If we not, we'll talk about it a different time. I want to put certain things in perspective about Donnie and his patira. A person has to know we're living in a time, we call it a magefa. And I think we're all well aware of that magefa. In the magefa, there are people who are taken away from us. Some people are taken away from us from a direct cause of magefa, and many, unfortunately, were taken away from us from an indirect cause of magefa. Somebody, let's say, who has a heart condition, and he couldn't get the proper medication or proper hospital, or sometimes he couldn't even get besides the services, he couldn't even get the operation that he needed. He couldn't get the doctor that he needed. It was all because of magefa. That person Lo Aleinu, who was hurt or was nifta during the Magefa, it's because of the Magefa. It's part of the Gzeiras HaKadosh Baruch Hu at the time of the Magefa. And that's how we have to look at things. Things that happen in this Kufa somehow relate to the whole Kufa. And if a person, whatever happened, if a person didn't get he was down, he didn't have it, he had challenges that he couldn't carry. He had other things that couldn't get done, economics, also. All things that are part of the Magefa that happen in this Kufa, both directly and indirectly after the Magefa. In the Magefa, what we call is HaKadosh Baruch Hu takes from us representatives of Klal Yisrael. It's not just individuals who are about themselves, but they represent. And we all know, unfortunately, the Novominsker Rebbe was taken, many Rebbes were taken, many Rosh Yeshivas, Talmidei Chacham, Gedolim, tremendous amount of Askanim, people were Isaac with Tzarchei Tziva, and I'm not talking about just before Pesach, even last week in Eretz Yisrael, people involved in different organizations that carry each one of us and all our friends and all the chesed. It was a hit in Avodah, Torah, and a chesed of Klal Yisrael. And then when you have a young person that was taken, and he was taken, that's all part of the Magefa, that's all part of the Gzeira. In the same Gzeira, and I think it's very important for all of us to understand, in the same Gzeira where the Novominsker Rebbe was taken, Daniel Yoshua was also taken. He was also taken from us. What are the cheshbonos of HaKadosh Baruch Hu? None of us know. Obviously, we're living in special times, great times, and these are times that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is focused on us. The loss is ours. Daniel, we know, is in a much better place right now. We know that, we believe that. We have to feel that also. We're not in a good place. We're the ones who are suffering. But he becomes a shliach of an entire tzibur and of all his chaverim. And there's a certain kedusha to that. And we have to look at him as one of the kedoshei of the Corona Magefa. And Mi'ez Hashem, he'll be a Melis Yosha for all of us. And as Rabbi Kalish said, things that you will do that come from him is a tremendous zuchus for him. In both in the coming world, but for his entire family as well, it's a tremendous zuchus. So he's been teaching us. In that sense, he's alive and well as he teaches us and inspires us, as well as everyone inspires themselves to do so much better. So he's Zichro Baruch, and Mi'ez Hashem, we'll all be inspired from that, and we'll all do things from that. And in Mi'ez Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu will put an end to this Magefa. And in Mi'ez Hashem, we'll see soon the Geula Shalema, and hopefully the Binyan Beis HaMikdash B'mheira V'yameinu. As we enter the days of Shavuos, and K'isha Echad B'lev Echad, I'd like to talk about the learning aspect of it, and talk about I think everyone has this struggle. I know when I was your age, I had this struggle. And I don't think the struggle went any less. And I think before my generation, they all had this struggle. Learning Torah and becoming a real Talmid Chacham is a struggle. You need so many different things. You need to be wise. You need to be disciplined. ADHD is a struggle when you're learning. You have to focus. If a person has other issues, it's a struggle. If a person's not healthy, it's a struggle. Poverty, it's a struggle. Should a person learn Be'iyun? Should he learn Be'kiyas? Should he be learning Chumash? Is it Musa? You have to know everything. There's so many different struggles when a person's learning. And what happens is when we fail in our struggles, sometimes we just give up. And that's the worst possible thing, just to give up. And we all have a kinyan, we all have an ownership in learning. Torah tziva lanu Moshe marasha kilas Yaakov. Torah was given to all of us, every one of us equally. The bright one was not so bright, the healthy one, the wealthy one, the ill one, the poor one. A person has other struggles. We'll give it equally. There's a Maharsha in Sanhedrin that says that if you don't learn Torah with a person who wants to learn, you're a Ganav. A Rebbe must learn what everybody wants to learn, no matter what his level is. Because Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe Marasha, it's an inheritance. Kalish Yaakov, that means you're taking away his inheritance. So if you go to any Rebbe and say, learn with me, I want to learn, I want to come to your yeshiva, I want to come to your shir, and they say, no, it's not for you. He stole your inheritance. Torah Tziva Lanu Moshe Marasha Kalish Yaakov. So that's a responsibility of every Rebbe, of every parent, every Rav, every Rosh Yeshiva, every Menal. But Aaron Metz, you could have sent that to me instead of should we learn with me. You could have said, Rebbe, learn with me in the chat. And I would have said, yes, too late. Shiva, you learn with him. But it's an inheritance for everybody to learn, to learn. But there's a struggle. And it's a very big struggle. And also, you forget, it's a different language. It's not English. It's not even Hebrew. A lot of Torah Sheba'al Peh is Aramaic. And should I know Shas? Should I learn Daf Yomi? I got to tell you as an aside, two fascinating things. When I was in Mesivta in high school, so I had a very good friend. His name was Gershon Ribner, who today is a Rosh Yeshiva in Lakewood, a famous speaker. And Gershon Ribner decided in 9th grade that he's going to know Shas. So what did he do? As a boy, he started learning Daf Yomi. Yes, every day, he started learning Daf Yomi, started in 9th grade, and by the time, he was in Beis HaMedrash, I remember he was Messiah Shas. And today, it's many years later, but he did his thing. He made his commitment. Others made different commitments. But it has to start with something doable, very important, doable, and it has to be something that's, that's small. It doesn't have to be something great. Small steps. I mentioned that as we try to reopen different things, and we're all working very hard to open the Mesivta, the Beis HaMedrash, many different things. Everything we do is a small step for man, but it's a great step for mankind. Like the astronaut said, everything we do is a small step, but you have to understand, 7 years later, he finished Shas. Some people 14 years later. You started when you can, but never give up. That's one thing. And we were in high school then. But I was in Beis HaMedrash, so I had a great chavrusa. Those who maybe Torah Chaim know them. It was Chaim Yitzchak Kaplan. Now we were learning together. His mother tongue was Lashon HaKodesh Hebrew. My mother tongue was English. I went to Yeshiva Flatbush, so I knew Hebrew. It was a second language. But surely Aramaic was a very hard language for all of us. Easier for the Israelis, because it's closer to Hebrew. There's no shaykhs to English. We decided one day, this is a challenge. I challenge anyone to do it if you can do it. Spend 15 minutes a day and start thinking, have conversations with yourself. I used to do this in Hebrew, but we try this in Aramaic. Could you have a conversation with yourself try 5 minutes, 15 minutes in Aramaic? And I want to tell you, I don't know if I succeeded at the 15 minutes. I don't remember back, but I remember it was a struggle. And one thing I did, I got to learn Aramaic that way. And then I used to have conversations, self-conversations with myself in Lashon HaKodesh. And I started thinking in Lashon HaKodesh. There's struggles, and these are so interesting things that one could try to do. But don't give up. If you can't do 1 minute in Aramaic, you're probably part of the masses. Because I don't know many people that could do 1 minute in Aramaic. In Lashon HaKodesh, people can and work on it. And you start to get a connection. But then you start, and I remember in my struggles in Mesivta, and the same struggles in Beis HaMedrash, we're all struggling. Even today, I struggle, So I think, what could I do? When you're in working out, and people work out, they're always looking for one thing, what they call the booster. What could boost it? What's the vitamin? What's the medication? And if you go online, you'll see there are many vitamin stores. There are many vitamins today that are called boosters. They boost your immunity system. They'll boost your metabolism. A person's on a diet. You have to get a pill that boosts your metabolism or food that boosts your metabolism. I understand. I'm eating healthily. I'm working out, but I still need something that boosts it. What could you do that boosts your learning? That if I can't focus, what could boost my focus? I'm trying, I'm struggling. What could boost my understanding? What could boost my yearning? What could boost my love of Torah? And we found it. That's called tefillah. Tefillah, when it comes to learning, davening, expressing your want to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. In davening, that's your booster shot. That's your vitamins. That's your booster pill. It's not the work, it's the booster. So if a person sits and learns and he davens to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, he has everything he needs. And that's a Mefurish Gemara. The Gemara says in Gemara Nida, Daf Ayin, Gemara says, "Ma yasa adam v'yachkem." What should a person do to become wise? Talking about wise and learning. So Gemara says, "Yarbe b'yeshiva." A person should sit b'hasmada, v'yimait b'schara, and do less time in business. Gemara says, "Harbe also came v'ilolem." A lot of people tried it; it didn't work. It doesn't work. It doesn't always work just to put effort in something which is so great. So Gemara says, what should you do? You should ask for wisdom. Beg to HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Rashi, I think, says, ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu, please. On that, the Gemara says, of course ask. Gemara answers, you need both. What is it, a drugstore? A little bit of that? I think the answer is you need to have your amelis, but you need your booster shot. You need your vitamin. And the tefillah is the vitamin. And that, we said many times in yeshiva, tefillah is one thing which we have 232, 250 people here right now, everyone could do. You know, in terms of different skills, talents, I can't sing. You know, I can't. I try Chaim Guri. I can't. What am I supposed to do? Because Baruch Hu didn't bless me with the gift of singing. And if you want, I invite you to my Shabbos table, and it's not debatable. There's things in this world that's debatable. It's not. I played music. There's things I can't do. At this age, I can't play ball as well. And it's debatable if I can learn. All right. But there's one thing we can all do. We can daven. Davening is the expression of my heart, my yearning. That's what it's called. Avodah shebalev. I'm expressing to God, help me out. You're the kol yochel. You could do it. You have every ability in this world. So you can help me out in my learning. Help me out in this. And that, what I mean, is called the booster. Now, what's the avodah for Shavuos? The preparation for Shavuos? The preparation for Shavuos is, I think, as follows. It's before Shalah. The Shalah says on Erev Rosh Chodesh Sivan, there's a famous tefillah Shalah that parents daven for the children. Because it's a time of our bikush, of our requesting, of our yearning to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for Torah. And because of that, the person has to spend that time right now focused on it. There's a special tefillah Shalah that they say Erev Rosh Chodesh Sivan. By the way, Erev Rosh Chodesh Sivan this year is on Thursday, even though Rosh Chodesh is Sunday. But all the halachas of Erev Rosh Chodesh is Thursday, so you get a few extra days. He says that's the time to prepare to HaKadosh Baruch Hu for learning, not in the hasmada, but in the tefillah, which shows that that's what I really want. That's my bikush. That's the achas sha'alti me'es Hashem. That's what I want. We have extra days. This year we don't have yeshiva in the walls on the campus in the base of Medrash, but we have extra days of our tefillah for that. And he created a whole beautiful tefillah of a parent. And the Mishnah Berurah writes straight out that every time you see in the tefillahs for Torah, a person should have the kavanah. Mishnah Berurah is a mem zayin. And think about that. Think about when you make Birchas HaTorah. You don't have to do every one. Just pick one. Pick one that speaks to you. You have to begin the day lasik b'divrei Torah. Yes, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that I should have you gave me that ability to toil, to work, to make it your occupation, learning. And then to me, this is my one that touches me the most. And I imagine it touches all of you. It should be sweet. The words of your Torah should be sweet. I want to like learning. I don't want to just learn. It's not a task. It's not something that I must do. I want to enjoy it. I want to like it. And if you like it, then your children will learn Torah Sechel Lishma. I want to tell all those who are not married yet, and Yetzer Hashem, you all be very soon, but all those not married yet, not just daven for your own learning, daven for your children's learning right now. Before you're married, start davening for your children's learning right now. You get the winning edge. Some people daven for the children after they were born. Some people daven for the children, after they were married, before they were conceived, after they were conceived. And smart people, we're all smart people. Let's start davening for our children right now. And yes, Hashem will have a lot of children. And how do you do that? Make it sweet in our hearts. Now, then what will happen there will all be do that now. That's Shavuos. You have so many times you can focus on the bakasha of tefillah, and then throughout the davening, Ava Rabba, Avas Olam, everyone should focus on that. Avinu Ava Rachman, the same Libeno Havil Haskil. That is a Ben Torah's tefillah. L'shma Alilma Lamed Lishma Vlasos Kaimis Kodem Vaiselberg Torah Sachabi Ava. We ask for everything. We're Jews, by the way. In Jews, we don't ask for a little. We want it all. Kol divrei, salmu Torah secha. And it should always be ba'ava. And then in many other places, we ask for it. In the Volotzion, we ask for it. Baruch HaKeinu Shabron L'chvodo, V'v'dilam V'nosalon Torah's emes, V'chai olam notav V'zavchenu, Hu yiftach li ben B'rusarasa. And then, of course, you have in the Shemona Esrei, Psach libenu, Psach libi B'sarasecha. Rabbi Kalish knows Rabbi Brown. That was Rabbi Kalish's Rebbe in Beis HaMedrash. I used to sit next to Rabbi Brown by davening. So we're both facing forward, and you can hear him davening. And when he came to Lokai, I don't know if he'd be appreciated I say this, but it's okay. If he has tinus on me, he'll have tinus on me. But it's kedai for everyone to hear this. When he would say Psach libi b'sorasecha, you can hear him cry. And he didn't say it once, and he didn't say it twice, and he didn't say it 3 times, and he didn't say it 4 times. He probably said it close to 10 times. You hear him talking to a person, to a being, to who? To the Rebbeinu Shalom. Is there a wonder that why he's a massive Talmid Chacham? He took the vitamin. He took the booster, the metabolism booster. Of course, he's a masman as well. That is, and on Shabbos, saying Chalkeinu b'sorasecha, you have that, by the way, every day in the davening. The saying Chalkeinu b'sorasecha. But after, we mumble it sometimes, after the Shemona Esrei, She'ibana Beis HaMikdash Re'Ramenu v'saying Chalkeinu b'sorasecha. On Shabbos, you have it so many times. You kupukan. Unfortunately, we don't say that right now. So, we don't say you kupukan, but they also say, we should have Zara, Chayiv, V'kam, Zardi, Yivstok, Yivto, V'miskareo Raisa. There's so much there. If everyone can make a Kabbalah, that starting now, and one of the things, I want wisdom. I can go on for another hour just showing you in the davening. But everyone find your own place. Find what speaks to you. If you find that, and you make a commitment to just focus on that combined with your hasmada, I'm telling you right now, you will see that better enjoyment of learning, a better connection in learning, and you'll see as you get closer to Shavuos, how you're going to steig. And Yimei Hashem, we know Shavuos is a din Torah on our learning and our abilities to learn. And it might be a struggle for all of us right now, and it's a struggle. It's a struggle for the best Boys, it's a struggle for the best time you can come. It's a struggle. But we're all part of that struggle, and we're all in this struggle together. That's the beauty part. We're in this struggle together as we daven. Baruch Hashem, I promise you that I don't need my promise. The Shalom promises. I promise you that you'll see Hatzlacha in your learning, in your yearning to learn, in your ava of learning, and we all want that, not just for you, but for your children and your grandchildren as well. And in Yetz Hashem, this will also be a zuchus with Daniel Yehoshua, as he's one of the carbons of this generation. Rabbi Kalish.
Thank you to the Rosh Yeshiva for your words and encouragement. I wanted to tell the Chevra a story. Years ago in Durham, a few years ago, I think Yaakov Hillel Goodman was laning. I believe it was our precious Chevra, Yaakov Hillel. It's definitely appropriate that he's the one who gave me this musar, but I want to share a story. This is what happened. Well, I'll ask Yaakov Hillel, who happens to be with us right now, if he was the one laning. I think he was. And Yaakov Hillel Goodman was laning from the Torah. It was Parshas Vayigash. And the Gabbai calls up. He says, "Ya Amoid," and he calls Daniel Pinchas ben Avimeiri. He calls me up for the Sheni, the second Aliyah in Parshas Vayigash. And Yaakov Hillel is laning the Torah. And Yaakov Hillel, who is a kiyum of caring and concern, achrayus for the next person, he reads the following words. It was a few psukim. I read Pasuk Lamed Aleph, Lamed Beis, Lamed Gimel. It was the fourth pasuk in my Aliyah. And the fourth pasuk, he says, Ki eich el avi. Yehuda says, how can I face my father? Banari nenu iti, and I don't have my brother with me. I can't face my father if my brother's not with me. Eich el avi. How can I look my father in the face? Vanare nenu iti. He's going to ask me. I'll say, Tati, look, I'm here. I'm at Shachris. I'm learning. I'm serving. I made it. Tata, I'm here. And the first question Dad's going to ask. I've gone recently on some hikes with my children. And they run off on a little this way, a little that way. So I always make sure an older one is with a younger one. If an older one would go a little off the path and run back and say, Tati, I'm back, don't worry. I say, Givaldi, you're back, I love you. Now where's your brother? Eich el avi. Yehuda was Mekabel Achrayus. How can I face my father? Vanare nenu iti, and I don't have my brother with me. In the yeshiva, the call is to grow. The call is to climb. But bring your roommate with you. 12th grader, beautiful, you're steiging. Bring the 10th grade with you. Where's your chaver? Where's your comrade? Where's your friend? Inspire, encourage, bring the next person with. When Yaakov Hillel, that person, it was a combination of the words and that precious Ben Torah who lives these words. When he said to me, Kalish, Eich el avi, how can I face my father? Vanari nenuiti. I asked Yaakov Hillel if the story is true. He tried to turn. You can look in a Sefer Torah when you get a chance. In middle of this aliyah, you're supposed to turn columns. And I was stuck. I had already read 3 psukim. I couldn't go on. I was in Einus. So the Balkairi, you should read along. Don't do my chatan. You're supposed to read with the Balkairi silently when you get an aliyah. But this was my 4th pasuk, and I couldn't read this pasuk. Yaakov Hillel motioned to me, turn. When you're the Eila, so you turn it, and he unrolls the next column. I just shook my head no. He thought something was wrong with me. And he unfolded and by himself did the next column. I wasn't leaving these words. Eich el avi vanarin anu iti. Rabbi say, Rabbi say, think these words for our precious friend Danny. We're not leaving our chaver. We're not leaving our loyalty to Danny. The older chevron knows Danny. Many of the chevron know Yoni. Yoni is a kiyum. The older brother and the way he cared about his brother was sensitivity, with care and concern. Yoni is a kiyum of achrayus, of arvus, of responsibility. Yoni can answer the question, Eich elel avi v'nari nenu iti. Yoni cared about his brother. Rabbi say, let us be mechazik, greater love of our brother, greater respect, grow and steig and bring others with us. Bring others to the Tata. It's the obvious question the Tata asks. I'll tell you, Rabbi say, a minhag that Rabbi Brownstein has started in Durham. I love this minhag. Before Kabbalah Shabbos, Rabbi Brownstein always in Durham weekly, so their guests, people come to Yeshiva for Shabbos Kodesh, whether it's an alumnus, whether it's a bacher as a chaver, and stam bachrim all week are on different shiurim. The 12th graders learn in the Beis Medrash, the 11th learn in the classrooms one over. So Leil Shabbos, we're all in the Beis Medrash. And Rabbi Brownstein started a minute before Kabbalah Shabbos begins. He wants the chevra to greet each other. And it was such, I so appreciate it. Rabbi say, you ever had guests, an old guest? I'm picturing in a few years, Shlomo Zalman comes to visit me. He comes with this beautiful mishpacha. Everybody knows it. Chaim will picture you and Yosef Kasper in a few years. So you come with your precious family. Everybody knows that before you two are comfortable, you've been friends for years, but you settle in the children. You make sure they're playing with the right games. I visualize Yosef Kasper knocks on my door. Oh, Yosef, before we hug quickly. But then he has in tow the Geschmacke Chevra. Boys, girls, I need to make sure his mishpach is comfortable. And he wants me. If we would just start schmoozing, me and Yosef, we would talk about old times and we would talk about our friendship. And his kids are sitting there restless, uncertain. Yosef would be, I thought we're good friends. The first thing to do is let's settle the kids here. Let's get this one playing Lego. Yisrael Meir will play Lego with your oldest Yosef. This one will play. Let's settle everybody in. Everybody's settled. All the children are settled. Now the two chaverim sit down for an intimate discussion. We chazer old times. It would be a strange person to ignore all the kids. That's not a chaver. And Rabbi Brownstein was kaiveya. We're greeting the Shechina, the Bayrei Olam's here. Let's settle down, all his children. Everyone should be comfortable, set up well with in the right mind frame. Then together we makabel the Pnei Shechina. Let's also prove our mettle as greeters. You're greeting Bayrei Olam. Are you a good greeter? Are you makabel each other properly? Be makabel each one. Ein HaKadosh Baruch Hu oivel l'misha oives Yisrael. Rabbi say, I call all our chevra, our precious chevra. Let us be able to answer that question. Eich elel avi v'nari nenu iti. Let's answer that arvus was that responsibility we have one for another. Cause that I bring along my brother in my ascent, in my growing, in my kirvus Hashem. I bring along my chaver. I have to read, I'm sure, there's a long text here, a long comment that looks good from the Bladders. He says, I'll read it to you. I want the Bladders say something, everything stops. Every year when reading Parshas Vayigash, Reb Meir Primish Laner, the preeminent student of the Holy Baal Shem Tov, we overcome with emotion. Ki eich ele lavi anar v'anari nenu iti. Yehuda unabashedly exclaims, for how can I go up to my father and the lad is not with me? I too ask myself, said the mayor, how can I go up to my father in heaven and the lad is not with me? What will I say to my venerable father when he asks, what have I done for the youth in my generation? Thank you, the Bladders, for always getting it right. Rabbi say, I ask, b'schus that precious diamond, that sensitive soul, I ask that all of us unlock somebody in your life. I beg you, b'schus, in Eloi for the neshama Daniel Yeshua ben Nachman. I guarantee, I promise Daniel, I promise Danny, I guarantee people will be unlocked. That I will try to respect and appreciate and love and see through veneers to help unlock. I'll be mechabit something, which will give it some person. Will mechabit a beged, it gives it koyach to warm. When mechabed a mitzvah, it gives its kayach to give kedusha. When mechabed a human being, it unleashes its kayach. I ask everybody to join me. Let's unlock people around us. Let's be able to answer that precious question that Yaakov Hillel asked me. On that Shabbos, let's be able to answer that question that here, Tati, my brother's very much with me. That is the gift that we'll give to Danny, because he's very much coming along with us. I want to thank the guys. Many people came straight through Levaya for joining the kfiyos of learning. I told the Rosh Hashiva that I didn't know how many would come today, many after the Levaya, but it speaks about the Chevra. I thank the Chevra for joining and coming. I want to wish us all, we should hear Besuras Taivas. We should continue to grow and steig together. I want to ask again, I'm looking for Yosef Kasper here. Let me find Yosef. I saw him before. Where is Yosef? We need a Varma song right now to uplift the whole Olam. Yosef, if you pick up your hand, I'll see you. Yosef Kasper picks up his hand, then I will see him. We'll find him, Rabbi say. I apologize. Thank you, Mike Shulman. I love you. Thank you, Mike Shulman, for being here. If Yosef Kasper can raise his hand, Elazar Namad is here. Chazdei Hashem, Chazdei Hashem. Thank you, Elazar. I love you, Elazar. I can't find, I found Yosef. He's right in front of me, right in front. Yosef, how are you?
Doing good, thank you.
Thank you for being here, Yosef. Thank you.
Yeah, double whammy today with Rosh Hashiva and Rabbi.
I was saying double whammy. We heard the Guris and Yosef Kasper. That's what I was thinking. Yosef, we need a song to uplift the spirits of everybody here. I was thinking, were you thinking of an idea?
No, I was thinking what you were thinking.
So I'll tell you a song. If we sing Kirvus Elikim Li Taiv, we need chezuk. We need a good chezuk. Kirvus Elikim to an olam that's being misala. Let's sing Kirvus Elikim Li Taiv.
100%. Let me just grab something. Hold on 1 second. I'll be back in a second.
Thank you, Yosef. Thank you to Chaim and Shlomo. Always there. We don't take you for granted. Not for a second. You're a gift. Not the voice, the person, the sincerity. Thank you, Chaim and Shlomo. It's beautiful voice is one din, but you guys practice that. Let's get it on the screen. 1 second, 1 second. Excellent. Excellent, excellent. Fantastic, thank you. Yosef's coming back. Yosef, perfect timing, Yosef. Thank you, Yosef. That was gorgeous, Yosef. Thank you very, very much. Appreciated. Thank you, Yoel Rahmani and family for being here. It means a lot that you come daily to come learn with us. I thank Yosef Dovi Friedman, the whole Chevra. Yosef Mammon, wonderful haircut. Excellent. Thank you, Yosef, for being here. Rebbe Yosef being here. Thank you, Shlomo Levinger, for being here. I want to wish everybody a good day. We should share Besuras Taivas. We should share good tidings. Thank you to the Perlman Mishpacha. Gav, Lavoy for being here. Thank you, Yaakov Mack, a lot for being here. Good to see you, Lavoy. Excellent, Levi. Thank you for being here. Besuras Taivas, 8:30 tonight. We'll be Be'ezeh Hashem, will learn Avos. Tomorrow at 2, I wanted to share something today with the Chevra that's like extremely fundamental. We'll push it off. Be'ezeh Hashem, today was a different sugya, but we'll push it off tomorrow at 2. Have an outstanding day, Rabbi. So have a good day.